The Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin was a place of learning, faith, and community. On December 16, 2024, it became the scene of an unspeakable tragedy. A shooting carried out by a student shattered the peace and left a community grappling with loss. 2 lives were cut short, a dedicated teacher and a promising student. 6 others were injured, some critically. The small school, once a safe haven, was now marked by senseless violence. The quiet morning of December 16th was like any other. Students were in study hall preparing for the week ahead. At approximately 10:57 a.m., the tranquility was shattered by gunfire. The shooter, identified as 15-year-old student Natalie Rupnow, had opened fire. Panic and chaos ensued as the sound of gunshots echoed through the hallways. Teachers, driven by instinct and training, rushed to protect their students. Some barricaded classroom doors, while others guided students to safety. First responders, including police and medical personnel, arrived swiftly on the scene. They were aided by a stroke of tragic luck. A team of paramedics was conducting a training nearby. The injured were rushed to nearby hospitals, while police secured the building and began the harrowing task of piecing together what had happened. The small community of Madison, unaccustomed to such violence, watched in horror as the news unfolded. The nation, all too familiar with the plague of school shootings, braced itself for another wave of grief and outrage. The morning of December 16th began like countless others at Abundant Life Christian School. Students arrived, greeted by the familiar faces of teachers and staff. There was an air of anticipation in the hallways as students prepared for the week's lessons. Natalie Rupnow, a 15-year-old sophomore who went by the name Samantha, blended in with her classmates. Unknown to all, she carried a dark secret and a deadly plan. At approximately 10:57 a.m., during a study hall session, Rupnow's plan turned to horrific action. Armed with a 9mm pistol, she opened fire on her classmates and teacher. The sound of gunshots pierced the quiet morning, transforming the peaceful school into a scene of chaos and terror. Students, caught completely off guard, scrambled for cover, their cries of fear echoing through the halls. The school's active shooter training conducted earlier that year kicked in. Teachers, many of whom had children of their own, sprang into action. Doors were locked, lights were turned off, and students were ushered into corners and under desks. The school, designed for learning and fellowship, was now a battleground for survival. Outside, the first sirens wailed in the distance. As the initial shock subsided, the grim reality began to set in. 2 lives were tragically cut short, a beloved teacher and a young student full of promise. Mrs. Sarah Jones, a dedicated educator known for her warmth and compassion. She taught at Abundant Life for over a decade, shaping young minds. 14-year-old Emily Carter, a bright light in her class. Known for her infectious laugh and kind spirit, she excelled in her studies. Emily's loss is a stark reminder of the innocence lost. The pain of their absence will be felt for years to come. The community rallies around them, offering support, prayers, and hope for healing. Section 4. Unraveling the motive, seeking answers. In the aftermath of the shooting, investigators are working tirelessly to piece together the events leading up to the tragedy, and to understand what could have driven a 15-year-old girl to commit such a horrific act. Natalie Rupnow, who went by Samantha, died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound at the scene, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. Writings discovered by authorities paint a picture of a troubled young woman grappling with personal demons. The content of these writings, while not yet released to the public, reportedly reveal feelings of isolation, despair, and anger. However, the exact trigger for the shooting remains elusive. Was it a specific event, a culmination of struggles, or something else entirely? The investigation is ongoing, with authorities pursuing multiple lines of inquiry. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives, or ATF, is working to trace the origin of the 9mm pistol used in the shooting. Determining how Rupnow obtained the weapon is crucial to understanding the events leading up to the tragedy, and may shed light on any potential failures in the system that allowed a minor access to a firearm. Section 5. Madison Unbroken, a community's response. In the wake of the devastating shooting at Abundant Life Christian School, the city of Madison finds itself grappling with unimaginable grief and searching for a way forward. While the pain is raw and the questions are many, one thing is clear: this community is resilient, and it will not be defined by this tragedy. Throughout the city, Signs of support and solidarity are evident. Candlelight vigils, overflowing with mourners holding flickering flames and tear-stained faces, offer a space for collective grief, and a powerful reminder that no one is alone in their pain. Donations pour in to support the victims' families, and volunteers work tirelessly to provide meals, counseling services, and other essential resources to those impacted by the tragedy. The shooting has sparked a renewed conversation about school safety and gun control. Parents are demanding answers, students are expressing their fears, and lawmakers are facing increased pressure to take action. The tragedy at Abundant Life serves as a stark reminder of the urgent need for comprehensive solutions to address gun violence in America.